Pokémon Scarlet and Violet's first DLC, the Teal Mask, introduced over 100 Pokémon into Generation 9. And by the end of this video, I'll have every single one of them shiny. I mean, other than the ones that are shiny locked. And what better way to kick off this journey than to go for 2 shinies I already have. Yeah, bet you didn't see that coming. Spinarak and Coughing. I evolved these 2 last time, and I just like their pre-evolutions better. And in classic Scarlet and Violet fashion, one spawned behind me and instantly despawned. But I did end up finding the Spooter, and then the Coughing. Okay, now let's actually get to work. So, I went to this Munchlax outbreak that was on my map. Now, yes, I do also already have a shiny Munchlax from Ogre Ousting, but that one's more special in my eyes, and I'd like to keep it as a Munchlax. This one gets to become a very friendly and huggable Snorlax. After, I made a fairy encounter sandwich in a cave. If you've played the Teal Mask, you've definitely seen a bunch of these caves. Well, these caves are a little special. Depending on the cave, time of day, or sandwich boost you have, they seem to exclusively spawn only one Pokemon. They're basically their own little outbreak, without there actually being an outbreak, which is why I've appropriately named them Cave Breaks. The name could use a bit of work maybe. Anyways, in this particular cave, you'll only find Carbink. Also, if you're wondering where this is, head behind the crystal pool and drop down, but not all the way. And bada bing. This cave break is actually one of the more annoying ones to deal with too. The only reliable way to despawn and respawn these Carbink is to picnic in the center of the cave. And setting up this picnic is very finicky. My recommendation to use is to go right here. And then when you close your picnic, just run straight down and then back up. It takes some getting used to, but if you do it right, you'll be rewarded. I absolutely love this shiny. The black rock and the blue accents look so nice. And the netball kind of goes perfectly. So let's follow up one cave break with another. This was actually a shiny I caught during my first 100 hours of playing, but I figured it was better to show it off now than before. And this cave is right by the Ogre's Den. You can get there easily by following the same cave system that's behind the crystal pool. Swinub gave me a pretty hard time though. It took a couple of hours, but eventually, I wish I had a friend ball because it's just so friend-shaped. And since there was no other ice types for me to go for, I just kept hunting. Hey, that thing's pretty friend-shaped. Friend. Yeah, so even though the first Swinub took a while, I ended up finding 3. And now I can evolve them and have myself the full line. Green Gang. Then I went and found myself another friend-shaped Green Gang shiny. What was that? A zombie? Oh, no. It's just Mienfoo. I don't know why Mienfoo sticks its arms out like that. Oh, but this one's blue. Nice. And then I found another one, which I evolved, completing yet another line of shinies. Put some respect on the Mien line. And with these 2 shinies, my Pokedex now has 150. Well, 151 entries. And once you have 150 Pokedex entries, you're able to do a side quest in the DLC. This is Perrin, and she's purty. Oh my god, a bear! I also want to point out this comment I got over a year ago, because I said I wasn't a big fan of Shiny Ursaluna. But hey, they called it. So, shout out to this person. Speaking of Shiny Ursaluna, or Blood Moon Ursaluna, you can't get it. Yay! So, I caught the dumb regular version. This is where I'd put my shiny Blood Moon Ursaluna, if I had one. No, but seriously, can Game Freak stop shiny locking stuff? Like, what's the point? Blood Moon Ursaluna makes me laugh though. It reminds me of a pirate. Ahoy, matey. Arr. And I wanted to assimilate this very friendly looking sea bear. So, I brought him all around Kitakami. Look how much fun he's having. Anyways, speaking of Ursaluna and Legends Arceus, it's said that Ursaluna was able to get to Kitakami from Hisui by crossing the ocean. Well, there was another Pokemon in Legends that would probably be able to cross the ocean. I'm sure some people probably missed this, But if you come over to this little lake in the Timeless Woods, you can actually find Basculin. But not just any Basculin, Hisuian Basculin. Well, this game calls them white striped Basculin, but they're the same thing. So, obviously that was going to be my next target. Now, supposedly you can get an outbreak for this fish, but I tried for a while, and wasn't able to make it happen. So, I figured I'd hunt it the old-fashioned way. Since there's another ugly fish I'm gonna need an outbreak for later. The problem with this hunt though, is Basculin is a pure water type. So, encounter water is useful, but it's also useful in making a bunch of other water types spawn. So, there's a pretty good chance you'll phase. Okay, well, even though there's a lot of other Pokemon, it seems like Basculin is the most common. Lucky for me, those were the only 2 phases. Oh? Also, this shiny barely changes from the original, so that's fun. And if you've been following me for a long time, you might know I was never able to get a shiny male Basculin. So, it's only fitting that I would get another piss fish. I think this shiny is awesome though, and I'm so glad it got brought into Scarlet and Violet. Illumise and Volbeat are dumb, but honestly, they have some underrated shinies. And then there's just that idiot in the background, also shiny locked. I'm surprised they didn't make these 2 Pokemon version exclusive though, because yes, for some reason in the year 2023, the very outdated concept of 2 versions of the same game coming out still exists. Speaking of version exclusives, there's a couple in this DLC that I still need to get. You're telling me I need to spend another $35 just to hunt these 2 Pokemon? Over on my Charmless Scarlet file, I made a flying sandwich, and found myself a Gligar outbreak. And then a Cramorant outbreak. These 2 Scarlet exclusives have incredible shinies, and Gliscor is one of my favorite Pokemon ever. So I'm a little jealous I wasn't able to use this when I was playing through the story. Now to just send them over to my Violet file. And this is when I started the very long journey to get myself a shiny Feebas. Finding this Pokemon is near impossible if you don't have an outbreak. So we'll be doing a lot of date skipping to find one. And any outbreak of Pokemon I don't have shiny yet, I'll also go and check out. First up was this absolute gentleman, Poliwhirl. And then I found this pink duck, which I did already have, but now I can evolve one and complete another line. Woo! Shiny hunting Poliwhirl had me a little worried. This shiny isn't the most noticeable. At least that's what I thought. Okay, hold on. Pause. This is me from the future while I'm editing. Hi, you see this Crawdaunt? It's a shiny. And I had absolutely zero idea that it was. I remember when I was playing, thinking this Crawdaunt was annoying me. I didn't think anything of it, because Corphish is orange. Turns out, it was trying to tell me it was special. And I blew it. It was on my screen for so long. I think that's so funny. I just can't get over it. This is why this game needs a shiny sound. Because otherwise, you have idiots like me completely missing stuff like this. Okay, anyways. Now, if you don't know, Poliwhirl has a split evolution. So I need to catch at least 2 to get both Dex entries shiny. So, I made another sandwich. And it's just that easy. When people are struggling to get a shiny, why don't they just simply get them to appear? And since I'm a dumb shiny hunter, I figured I might as well get myself a 3rd Poliwhirl, since I'm going to need to hunt Poliwag later anyways. And then I would just be missing 1 frog, and we can't let that happen. Unfortunately, this 3rd and final Poliwhirl took the longest to find. So, I evolved 2 of them, and had myself not 1, but 2 cursed evolution screens. But at least they have some really nice shinies. And now, with 3 out of the 4 frogs, we're only missing the baby, which I ended up finding a separate outbreak for. Poliwag is a cutie, but it definitely has the worst and least noticeable shiny of the bunch. Fortunately, I found it really fast before even knocking out 60, saving me from the pain of looking. And thus, the entire Froggy family shiny was complete. I don't even want to tell you how long it took them to get lined up like this, but look how amazing they all are. Poliwag and World Shinies have definitely grown on me a bit, but Wrath and Toad, their shinies are so good. Also, Green Gang. After the frogs, I had a Sentret outbreak, And Sentret is just a silly little guy. So silly, I did this. Now that's falling with style. And then I found the little rascal. Oh lord, he's coming. He's coming. Aww. And evolved it into Furret. And then a Lombre outbreak. Now, I did already find a shiny Lotad, but like, I can't evolve him. He's perfect. Honestly, this entire line is just so amazing. And I never realized how awesome their shinies were. Okay. I've done like 10 shinies from outbreaks in a row. Let's change things up a little bit, because this Feebas ain't coming anytime soon, and I'm sick of date skipping. So I decided to make a ham sandwich, and look for Geodude. I know every generation has some not so great Pokemon designs, but Gen 1 definitely has a bunch of dumb ones. Like Geodude is literally just a rock with arms. A literal rock dude. Like, what? At least it has a nice shiny though. And this is why you always save your game, especially if the shiny is round, because round equals bomb. And right next to this round bomb was a Chingling outbreak. And although Chingling is also round, it's not a bomb. At least, I don't think. And the shiny was more noticeable than I expected it to be. And it's such a cutie. And to break up the monotony some more, I did some other hunts. With a dark type sandwich by the rice fields. There's a lot of little puppies. Now, I never had the pleasure, or mispleasure, of finding that uncatchable shiny pooch, but I did find this one.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
And with the same boost, I went over to the Infernal Pass, because the worst Pikachu clone can be found here. And lucky me, I found it real quick too. Now if only I could finally find that Feebas outbreak. Let's go! After many days of searching for this, I finally had it. And I was not gonna let it go to waste. I rushed down and started murdering these dumb fish. And for all my struggles, I was rewarded with a Bronzong? No, but actually after a little while, I did find the Purple Fishy. It's so surreal to finally have this shiny on my screen. This took much longer than I would have hoped, but it was so worth it. An incredible purple shiny. Now, since this outbreak took me so long to find, I obviously wasn't leaving until I had a second shiny Feebas, which didn't take too much longer to pop up. And she will become a beautiful Milotic. So, I named her something very appropriate. Cletus. Cletus the Phoebus. Now that the stress of all that date skipping is finally over, we can relax and finish up the last couple of hunts. Our third and final cave break was for Cleffa. Here's the location on the map. This cave also spawns Clefairy, so I was a bit worried. But then after a few hours, this happened. And this is where it gets wild. After just one more picnic, look at the time difference between these two clips. A few minutes. But hold on, it gets better. A third shiny Cleffa. Literally seconds later. Look at the times again. Insane. I've had some crazy shiny luck playing this game, but never something like this. 3 shinies within 3 minutes? And all that luck was about to continue too. I went to an Ekans outbreak next. Wait, did you know Ekans backwards is snake? And Arbok is cobra? And Muck is Hey, look, a green gang nope rope. I wish Ekans moved the same way it did in BDSP. Yes, I did bring my shiny Sneck into this game just to see that. Also, I found that Ekans so fast that I went back to Paldea for a Toxel outbreak. Nice. Anyways, then there was a C-Dot outbreak. So, I went there, and took a little while to find one. Fortunately, the shiny was very noticeable. I feel like every hunt I do, I'm so paranoid I'm gonna miss a shiny, and then the shiny ends up looking so obvious. And to finish off this journey, another shiny I have a billion of in Legends Arceus. And Duskull didn't want to make us wait, after just 5 minutes with the Ghost Boost. I love this shiny. The red looks so good. And with this catch, we now had every single new shiny in the Teal Mask. We just needed to do a couple more evolutions. Up first, Nose Pass. Got the mustache. Ooh, that looks so good. Oh yeah. Shoo! Whew. Oh, it's got a little red scarf. From a green nope rope to a golden one. Oh, that looks so good. Reclaiming the Crawdaunt that I failed like an idiot. Nice. Very pink. Green Gang. Not Green Gang. Cutie Jingling. Lombre with the amazing hat. Into Ludicolo. Oh my gosh. Golden Pupper. That looks awesome. Poop Brown Graveler. Little Cutie Cleffa. Into Clefairy. And then into Clefable. Everyone's favorite gentleman Duskull. Into Dusclops. Gligar. Turning into Gliscor, my beloved. Love this Pokemon. I love this shiny. Whew, that orange looks nice. Nuzleaf and its nipples. Then a Leaf Stone for Shiftry. Okay, we got Golem, which doesn't look great, to be honest. Dusknoir. Shiny's kind of grown on me a bit, but Dusclops is definitely better still. And the stunning Milotic. And that'll do it for today. I now have every single new Pokemon in the Teal Mask entered into my decks as a shiny. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. Our adventures in Kitakami aren't done just yet though. Make sure to subscribe because you aren't going to want to miss what happens next. Bye.